everyone. Good evening on this beautiful sunny day today. Thanks very much for joining us. Alfie's here. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi everyone. So what have we got on tonight? So I thought I'd have a play with these lovely poppy stamps, which are gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, that we launched the other week. Hopefully you're having lots of fun with your magazine box set and your Dorothy stamps. So here's something that I did the other week with the Dorothy stamps and these. But we're just going to concentrate on the poppy stamps tonight, and I thought I'd show you how I do a collage. So I'm going to start off with some watercolor card, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some masking. So I want my central image down straight away. So let me get some Versafine as per usual. I'm using a piece of card that's quite large. This is 8 inches by 4, I think, 4 1/4, something like that. I'm using black Versafine, and that's going to go in the centre here. Whoops, I hope that's all right. Just sort of dropped it in place there. Yep, that'll do, that's nice. Just give it a wipe over with my rag. And we've also got some lovely other stamps on here as well. So we've got smaller poppies, we've got poppy fields, so distance poppies, and we've also got lines of trees and individual trees as well. So it's really versatile for doing landscapes and stuff. Right, so the next thing is I want to mask all this off. So first thing I'm going to do actually is just dry this off. There we go, and what I've done is I've stamped onto some masking paper, and I've cut out just the essential bits. So the poppy head and these 2 leaves here. Need a bit of help with some tweezers on this, they're a bit fiddly. So I've done those. I've also done this leaf as well. So you can use post-it notes, you know, the sticky part of the post-it note. That's usually what I normally do. Or if you've got any masking roll, I think, is it Wild Spider that do them? And then just those there. So it's all masked off, so it's all going to be safe and everything. And then I'm going to use a variety of background stamps. So obviously I'm going to use the matrix, aren't I? So French script number 2, that's going to go on here. Let me just check, I think it's this way around. Oh, absolutely no ink on there. And I'm going to use a small ink pad because I don't want the whole of this to stamp. I want sort of a wiggly edge to it. So I think my idea is I've got a long and thin piece of card here. Okay, so I want the majority of the design to go diagonally, which will make it more dynamic looking. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just put that there, and I might have just a touch in here of a second generation one there. And I think I've probably stamped that upside down, but with this French script you can't read it anyway, so I'm not going to be worried about that at all. I really like these grunge numbers, number 36, so that's the next on board. And again, I'm just going to get a little bit of ink, just not all over. I mean, it's grungy anyway, because it's quite a solid, let me show you, see, it's quite a solid stamp. So I think let's just stamp off first. Yeah, I think that needs, actually, it looks a bit odd. So I am going to put ink all over it. I'm going to stamp off on one, and then I'm going to bring this quite low down here towards this corner. Can you see? And that's much better because it's a second generation. It's a lot lighter. It's more grey than black. So that's good. Okay. So can't resist, can I? Here comes the matrix. There we go. And again, I'm going to just do the lengths but not all the edges there. And I think this one needs to come in the centre there. Yeah, that works for me. That's good. Okay, might come back and put a little bit more on, but for now let's just leave that there. Now grungy little circles. This is a good one to use. And again, I'm just not going to do all of it. And this time I'm going to just come out here a little bit, about there. And then to balance it off, we need to have a little bit down here, I think. I think I'm just going to do just a teeny bit there. That's it, just to obscure those numbers a little bit. And maybe just a tad up there. Yeah, that's good. So that was Grungy Little Circles number 38. Alpha number 22. And then this is quite random anyway, so I don't think I really need to not ink all of it up. And again, we want to get, we've got a little bit fatter here to emphasize the poppy, so I am going to come in about here. So can you see, thinner, a bit fatter and thinner there. Yeah, that seems to do it, and it's sort of overlaying over the top of these, which is good. I like that. Let me just get my rag. And all the time my poppy's being protected because of all that masking that I've got on there. And then next, let's see here, how about we do some of these cups. I love this stamp, really useful, number 50. Okay, so I think I'm just going to do maybe these 4, maybe that one. I'm just going to do that corner there, because I think if I just stamp those few there, yeah, see how it just overlays over the top of that, which is nice, just like it balances this one so that you get that equal balance, which works for me. That's good. Let me just use my rag again. so that was Cups. Lovely stamp that. Right, I've got out these. These were such a favourite for such a long time, and then I've sort of put them to one side and forgotten about them, but they're just brilliant. So this one, I'm going to use those circles. So this is stitched circles, and I hand drew all of these on the sewing machine actually, and then I put these words in, so they are quite poignant, I should say. Okay, so we're going to go with these 3 little circles here, and again I'm just going to use a small ink pad. Now I think this would look good just sort of behind these leaves here, just to join this up. There we go. And I quite like the idea of just one peeking out, maybe the big one. Okay, so I'm just going to ink up that one stamp here, but I just want to make sure that the rest of it is not going to go over the rest of here. So, oops. So I just want it poking out from there. There we go. It would have been masked out, it's alright, but just be on the safe side. Okay, and then I think to finish we might need a few sort of splashes. So that's going to go back in there for stitch circles. I really like this though. I think that would look really cool. So let's get that out. I think that would work quite well. Maybe just a small portion of it. Okay, let's just go with a little bit on the top. And let's just have it coming through that circle there. That's perfect. So I didn't ink all of it up and it's just stopped just where that poppy is. Okie doke. Whoops. Let me just pop this back. Now I need, where did I put, I'm sure I thought a stamp with some, I did, yeah, there we go. So this mindfulness number 3 has some really good ink splats on it, so I'm going to use that. Hi Val, hi Dee, hi Anne, hope you're enjoying your holiday. Hi Teresa, hi Lee. Oh, I can hear myself, so I'm just turn my volume off. There we go. Okay, so I don't want this great big splat here, but I do want some of the others, hence why I'm using a little ink pad, so I can just choose a few of these splats. And let's do it bit by bit, shall we? Let's have a little bit just coming into this corner there. Yeah. So we just need to copy that. Again, just a few of these. Let's just think about this, about there. That's good. And then we've got a few tiny ones down here, like that. Let me just clean off the other side. I don't want it to double stamp. So I've just got a few inked up on there. So I think maybe There we go. See how we get that dynamic? And a little bit there. Okay. Gosh, that's me and white space, hey? That's unusual. I think we're there with the stamping. She says, I've always got to do a bit more, haven't I? I just can't let it lie. Honestly. Just have a... Right, leave it alone, Kay. Just step away from the ink. Step away from the stamps. Leave it alone. Okay, so that splatter was on mindfulness number 3. Which just sits on my desk. Right, okay. I'm going to put that ink away before I'm tempted. Right here, let's take our mask off. There we go. Just pop that there. Excellent, that's good. Alrighty. So, next up we need to make that poppy really pop, as it were. So tonight I'm just going to use, I'm going to use some Vivids actually. I was going to use some paints and then I thought, actually let's get some Vivids out. And I was actually going to get some sparkly ones, but I got distracted, like I usually do. I've got a couple of drops of this lovely bright yellow, which is Loxley yellow. I've got a bit of Will Scarlet, which just want one drop. So as you've seen, they have got child locks on them, so you have to push them in and then take them off, as Alfie had to show me the other week, because I always struggle with them. And then we've got a drop of Robin Hood, which is like an emerald green. So I'm going to show you how to mix that. Oh, where's my Scarlet? There we go. Will Scarlet. Yes, I've got Will Scarlet. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is get some water on this poppy head here. So I've got a really small brush, so I've got some control, and I'm just going to wash some water over the top of this. Just the poppy, nowhere else, just where I'm going to paint the poppy head. And I know poppies come in lots and lots of different colours, but I'm going to go with a nice red scarlet colour. So I'm just going to drop in the colour and just let that run. And it's almost like watercolor painting. It's lovely. And these pigments are just gorgeous to play with. You just need to use very, very small amounts. That's the main thing. And the putting water on the card first, this is why I've used watercolor card. Putting water on this first enables the ink to actually run and move, because if you didn't, it would just immediately grab hold of the fibres and you wouldn't be able to move it at all. That's really lovely. Lovely and bright. And then what you need to do is get yourself a bit of kitchen paper, because we want to put some highlights in now. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water around here where I want a few sort of highlights, and then you can just blot off, as it were, and it can take some of the pigment out. I think we'll have a highlight round about here. The longer you leave it on, the more pigment you're going to take out. But I like to do it in stages, and then you can actually see the shape really really come together. So I'm going across the top of that petal. I think I probably need a little bit more around here. A little bit of clean water on there. There we go, and I think next bit, this bit here, that needs to be a bit of a highlight, methinks. There we go. So you can see it's getting a little bit more rounded there. And then if you wanted to put some more red back in, you can do. I'm just going to put a little bit more in the centre there, just so that that's really, really dark red. There we go. And I think just this inside petal there.
Louise has just asked, what paper are you using?
I'm using our watercolour card. Our indigo blue watercolour card. Yeah, for this technique you do definitely need to use watercolour card. Okay, so I can leave that now for a little bit and let that just settle in. Now let's get my brush really nice and clean. Make sure that you've got plenty of water in that. So next I'm going to do these leaves. Alrighty, so damp brush. Just make sure you don't have like water on you this area of your brush, because then that droplet will run down and then flood straight onto your work. So just make sure it is literally the brush. What you can do is you can just spray a bit of water onto your mat, and then you literally just touch one of the little balls of water. I'm using my paint mat here because it's white and I can see the colours when I mix them, and also it keeps the colours all nice and true. Right, so this is going to be green. Now if I put this green on its own, you will see that it's a real emerald green. It's quite a blue green. Okay, so I'm just going to go up the stem of it, and then I'm going to add in, that's why I've got two blobs of yellow here. Then I'm going to add in some of the Loxley yellow. And the beauty of these colours is, these vivids, is that they're translucent, so you can layer them up and they will mix really beautifully, and you get these wonderful clear vibrant colours. So I'm just coming in with a little bit more green, and so we're getting more of a limey green now. There we go. So I'm going to do the same. Oops. Do the same on this leaf. So paint it with water first. And I have actually got some colour on there. A little bit of the Robin Hood, which is that emerald green, but then I'm going to take a tad of that, just dip my brush in the yellow, Loxley yellow, And because you're actually mixing it on the page, you get these variations in colour like you would in a leaf. Because a leaf isn't all one solid colour. You get little areas which are different, so you get more shape to it. Okay, a bit more water now onto this little one. And so if I show you, if I go for the yellow first, which has got a little bit of green added anyway. Oh, and I'm using a 2-0 brush, so this is a very fine brush. And then I'm just going to take the tiniest amount of vivid ink. So I'm using the refills here, but if you've got the sprays, all you need to do is just take the top off and dip your brush in. Just get one droplet, literally, that's all you're going to need. And you'll have spares as well, so have yourself some extra paper to the ready so you can mop all that up. So I'm going to do the seed head as well. Well, this one's not quite open yet, so just going to do that. And this one.
The camera's moving a little bit.
Is it?
I think it's because it's the wires going across that table at the top.
Oh,
so
okay.
you'll move.
Oh, sorry, it's me moving the table. Sorry about that. I'll try and. Okay, so that's making it pop out a little bit more, but I want more of a contrast coming on. So I'm going to use a round brush, and the reason for this is it holds quite a bit of water, and I'm just going to wet this brush, and again I'm just going to wipe round the furrow here so that I'm not going to get any drops. Now I want to make sure that I don't touch the poppy or the leaves, but I just want some really random sort of water droplets, as it were, but I don't want to splash it because I won't have control over it. So I'm just going to do a few water droplets there and a few round here. So keeping with that diagonal design and making sure that I don't touch those leaves. And now I'm going to mix some of that yellow, the pure yellow, not the yellow that I've been using for the green, this pure yellow, you know, this first dot that I had, and the red. And we'll get some oranges coming through, and I'm just holding the brush right at the end so it's quite loose, and I'm just dotting some of that colour very randomly, but in that diagonal, and the water will just make it run and merge a little bit. And I'm also going to colour in this circle here and this, but I'm not going to touch those leaves or go anywhere near it. And I know I haven't wet that area. That's because I don't want to risk those leaves at all. So I'm going to come in with a little bit of that red, that scarlet colour, which is just gorgeous, and maybe a few drops of this. I might have some. I've just realised I've left out a leaf there. There we go, and it's got the mask on. So I'm just going to go back in, just get that leaf. There we go, and let's get some yellow on there. I thought something was missing. And a little bit of that Robin Hood green. There we are. And now these have dried a little bit, you can actually go back in and put a little bit more detail in. So I can go in and just get a few slightly darker areas, maybe just at the base of the leaf there. And also, if you wanted to, you could actually just put a little bit of green down the stem. As well. So I just want a tiny bit of the scarlet just to mix in with this water. So just tiniest dot there. I'm just washing my brush. I'm just going to put a little bit of water around here because that was a bit weird.
Weird?
Well, it wasn't weird, it was just not doing very much. I'm just going to wet round here and just let the water flow and alter the ink. I might just have a tiny dabble there, and then pick up some of that red, and let's have a little splurge of red in here. Yeah, there we go. It just needed a little bit of depth. So we get, and it mixing with that orange, it's going to be just a deeper orange colour coming through there. Oh, just touch the green. That was a bad idea. Now just a little more touch of the scarlet there. And then I think just a bit of that yellow there.
Just bring it down a little bit on the table. Yeah.
There we go. There. Okay. I'm happy with that. And I even like the white space as well, but you can see how the diagonal just works so well. It's just easy peasy. I do like long thin designs as well. I think they work really nicely. And then I'm just going to map that onto some black card. There we go. But first, actually, let's just pop that on there. Oh, thanks, Wendy. What lovely comments. Thank you, girls. Maybe I should have allowed it to dry before I actually did this. Oh, now it's slid. Now it's slid off. Let's get it straight. There we go. Let that glue set. Now I just want some little words, I think, to go on there. Okay, so I've just done that, but I like putting up words as well, so let's cut this one up. Let's get some scissors on this. So I'm going to have to chop into that, chop into that. So, because we read left to right, also give it some balance. We'll have just a new and then 4 in the middle somewhere. Let's have a look where that might go. About there? Do you reckon?
Mm-hmm.
Alfie agrees, so there we go. There we go. I enjoy doing that. It's a bit different for me, actually. Lots of white and not a fingerprint in sight yet. So I'm just going to leave it well alone while it dries. And there you are. So thanks ever so much for joining me. Thank you so much for your lovely comments and your support. We really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm not going to be here next week. It's enjoy the summer solstice. It's the beginning of summer, but I will be back the following week. Now, date for your diary. We are going to be doing a art journal course on Saturday. Still time to join us. Art journal number 5. Alfie, could you pass the diary, darling? So still time to join us. Don't have to have done 1 to 4 beforehand. So that's this Saturday. Then the following week we have our secret retreat, our 3-day secret retreat. So looking forward to seeing you all there. That's going to be fantastic. If you're in the area of Retford, you can pop in. We've got a pop-up shop in the town hall, Retford Town Hall in the Market Square. And then, date for your diary, the 26th of June, 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. It's Christmas on Crate and Craft. So 26th of June, 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. Christmas on Crate and Craft. And then I'm going to be doing a mini show for you on the 28th, which is Pride show, Pride Day I should say. I'm going to be on Facebook here at the usual time of 8 p.m. On Facebook and YouTube, and I'm going to be showing you some new stuff then. Wow, lots of things happening, which is great. So thank you so much for joining us. Bye for now. Say bye, Alfie.
Bye.
Bye.